5 days. That's all I'm asking you to test. Not a lifetime, not a year, not even a month, just 5 days. Talk to yourself differently, and you will begin to see a different life. See, here's what I discovered. Most people spend more time talking to themselves in defeat than in encouragement. They say, I can't do it. I'm not ready. I don't deserve it. And here's the truth. Your life is shaped not just by what you say to others, but mostly by what you whisper to yourself when nobody's listening. You know it. That little voice. The one that either lifts you or breaks you. Let me give you a thought to carry today. What you speak to yourself in private will eventually show in public. So I'm inviting you. Talk to yourself like a winner. Talk to yourself like a person of discipline. Talk to yourself like someone destined for success. Not forever. Not endlessly. But for just 5 days. Why? Because 5 days is enough to open your eyes. 5 days is enough to feel the shift. 5 days is enough to prove to yourself that your words have power. Now, here's the key. Don't say, I'll try. Say, I will. Don't say, it's too hard. Say, it's worth it. Don't say, I'm not good enough. Say, I'm getting better every day. For 5 days, feed your mind a different diet. Words of courage, words of faith, words of discipline. And I promise you, if you change your words, you'll begin to change your world. Have you ever noticed? The most important conversation you'll ever have is not with your spouse, not with your boss, not even with your best friend. The most important conversation you will ever have is with yourself. Because it's the dialogue within that determines the direction without. It's the words you repeat in silence that echo into your actions. It's the stories you tell yourself that eventually become the life you live. Now, here's the truth. Self-talk shapes destiny. What you whisper inside eventually becomes what you shout to the world. I remember learning this many years ago. Someone told me, Jim, be careful what you say to yourself because you are listening. And that struck me because I realized all day long I was planting seeds in the soil of my own mind. Some of those seeds were good. I can do it. Others were poisonous. I'll never make it. And here's the principle. Whatever you plant, you will eventually harvest. So let me ask you, what are you planting? See, the human mind is fertile. It doesn't resist. If you plant weeds, it grows weeds. If you plant flowers, it grows flowers. Your inner dialogue is the gardener, and you're gardening every single day. Now imagine this 5 days. Just 5 days where you take control of that gardener. 5 days where you decide, I will only speak strength to myself, not weakness. I will only speak possibility, not defeat. Do you know what 5 days of strong self-talk can do? It can shift your spirit. It can ignite your confidence. It can reprogram your belief. Because here's the law of the mind. Whatever you repeat, you reinforce. If you tell yourself long enough, I'm not enough, you'll begin to live as though you aren't enough. If you tell yourself, I can't change, your actions will match your confession. But if you tell yourself over and over, I am capable, I am disciplined, I am on my way, eventually your mind believes it and your life follows it. That's why I say talk to yourself with intention. Let me give you a little exercise. For the next 5 days, I want you to rise in the morning and speak words of design, not default. Say something like, today I choose growth. Today, I will focus on progress, not perfection. Today, I will not be defeated by doubt. Say it out loud if you can. Whisper it if you must. But say it, because repetition is power, and words, spoken with conviction, carve grooves in the mind. Now, I can almost hear someone say, but Jim, isn't that just positive thinking? And I'd say, no, it's deeper than that. Positive thinking is hoping for the best, but self-talk is training your inner voice. It's giving your mind a script to follow. It's creating a compass that points you toward your best self. Remember this, life and death are in the power of the tongue, and your own tongue is the one you hear most often. So what are you speaking into your future? If you want success, talk success. If you want strength, talk strength. If you want courage, talk courage. Because words are not empty. Words are seeds. And 5 days of planting good seeds can start a harvest of change. Now let me warn you, self-talk works both ways. If you are careless, it will work against you. If you constantly say, I'm tired, I'm unlucky, I never get a break, your subconscious accepts that as truth. And soon, your actions align with it. You'll walk slower. You'll expect less. You'll try half-heartedly. And then you'll say, see, I told you so. That's the tragedy of negative self-talk. It fulfills itself. But the miracle of positive self-talk is that it fulfills itself too. So my friend, let me encourage you. Guard the words inside. Direct your dialogue. Take charge of your inner conversation. Talk to yourself like someone you respect, like someone you believe in, like someone who deserves success. Because you do. And if you practice this, if you commit for just 5 days, you'll notice something remarkable. The same voice that once criticized you will begin to encourage you. The same voice that once held you back will begin to push you forward. And then you'll see it. Your inner world begins to shift. And when your inner world shifts, your outer world has no choice but to follow. So remember this principle. Talk to yourself with vision. Talk to yourself with faith. Talk to yourself with discipline. Do it for 5 days. Just 5 days. And you'll never go back to careless words again. Because you'll know the power of inner dialogue is the power of destiny. Imagine this. Just 5 days. Not 5 years. Not 5 months. Not even 5 weeks. 5 days. 5 days where you decide to speak to yourself differently. 5 days where you no longer allow the old negative dialogue to have control over your mind. 5 days where you deliberately plant the seeds of new words, words that lift you up instead of tear you down. My friends, 5 days can change your life. Because here's the truth. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is repeated. It only believes what you keep telling it. If, for 5 days, you tell yourself a new story, your mind begins to shift. Your emotions begin to shift. Your behavior begins to shift. And soon, your destiny starts moving in a new direction. You see, self-talk is programming. Every day, you're writing instructions for your future. If you say, I can't, your mind accepts it as truth. If you say, I'm not smart enough, your mind believes it and shuts down opportunity. But if you say, I can learn, I can grow, I can get better, then the mind opens and the future expands. Think about it like this. Your mind is like fertile soil. It doesn't care what you plant. It will return whatever you sow. If you plant weeds of doubt, weeds will grow. If you plant seeds of confidence, confidence will grow. The soil doesn't judge. It just produces. That's why what you say to yourself is so important. So, here's my challenge to you. For the next 5 days, guard your self-talk. When the negative thought rises, catch it. When you hear the voice say, you can't do it, replace it with, I can, I will, I must. When you hear the whisper of failure, replace it with the song of victory. Do this for 5 days, consciously, deliberately, consistently. For 5 days, wake up in the morning and tell yourself, this is my day. This is my chance. This is my time. For 5 days, before you go to bed, tell yourself, I've done my best today, and tomorrow I will do even better. For 5 days, when doubt comes, speak courage. When fear comes, speak faith. When weakness comes, speak strength. 5 days. Why 5 days? Because 5 days is long enough to feel the difference. It's short enough to begin immediately, and it's powerful enough to start the process of transformation. You don't have to commit to forever today. All I'm asking is for 5 days. If you can discipline yourself for 5 days, you'll taste victory. And once you taste it, you won't want to go back. You'll realize that the words you've been using have been shaping your world all along. You'll see how quickly the mind responds to new language. And you'll discover that success is not only about what happens around you, it's about what happens within you. Have you ever noticed how your words affect your energy? Say to yourself, I'm tired. I can't do it. And immediately your shoulders slump. But say, I've got this. I'm ready. Let's go. And suddenly, your body responds with energy. That's not magic. That's the power of words. Your inner dialogue doesn't just change your thoughts, it changes your physiology. It affects how you walk into a room. It affects how you shake a hand. It affects how you see yourself in the mirror. And for 5 days, if you speak strength, you'll feel strength. If you speak courage, you'll feel courage. If you speak victory, you'll feel victory. Now don't be surprised when the old voice tries to come back. It will. The voice of doubt, the voice of fear, the voice of limitation. It will whisper, you've tried this before. You always quit. Why bother? When that happens, don't argue. Don't debate. Just replace it. Speak the new voice. Say, that was the old me. This is the new me. And I'm not going back. Because the old voice will always try to drag you down. But for 5 days, you are training your mind to listen to something new. 5 days may sound small, but the reward is big. Because if you can change your self-talk for 5 days, you can change it for 10. If you can change it for 10, you can change it for 30. And if you can change it for 30, you can change it for life. That's how habits are built, one small test at a time. That's how confidence is built, one new word at a time. That's how destiny is shaped, one inner conversation at a time. So, I ask you, what will you say to yourself for the next 5 days? Will you keep repeating the words that kept you stuck? Or will you begin a new conversation that opens doors, unlocks potential, and sets you free? Remember this. What you whisper to yourself in the quiet moments becomes the loud reality of your life. So speak carefully, speak powerfully, speak deliberately, because your words are creating your future 5 days at a time. 5 days. That's all it takes to begin a transformation. Not 5 years, not 5 months, just 5 days. But here's the thing. Most people never see the power of those 5 days. They underestimate it. They say, it's too small, it won't matter. And that's exactly why it matters. Because growth begins in small, consistent actions. Big leaps are made from small steps repeated faithfully. Think about your mind like a muscle. If you never exercise it, it grows weak. If you lift the same weight every day, it grows stronger. Self-talk is that exercise. Positive words are the weights. Each repetition makes the mind stronger. Stronger beliefs, stronger focus, stronger determination. And for 5 days, you can train it. You can give it the discipline it needs. You can teach it to believe in growth, not in limits. Here's the 5-day challenge. Day 1, awareness. Notice every thought you speak to yourself. Write it down if you have to. See the negative patterns. See the excuses. See the self-doubt. Awareness is the first step to change. You can't grow if you don't know what's holding you back. Day 2, replacement. For every negative thought you catch, replace it with a positive one. If you think, I'm not good enough, say instead, I am capable and I am improving. If you think, I can't handle this, say, I have the strength to handle anything that comes my way. This is the core of training your mind. Replacement is the bridge between old habits and new growth. Day 3, affirmation. Speak powerful statements to yourself, out loud. If possible, look in the mirror and say them. I am growing every day. I am capable of more than I realize. I will take action toward my goals today. Your words create energy. They reinforce belief. They guide your actions. Day 4, visualization. Imagine yourself succeeding. See the person you want to become. See the life you want to live. Combine these mental images with the words you speak. This aligns your mind and your heart toward growth. Your subconscious begins to accept it as possible, and your actions follow. Day 5, action. Finally, take bold steps. Do what your mind has been preparing for. Do what your words have been reinforcing. Growth is not complete without action. Your inner dialogue is preparing you. Your words are guiding you. Now, take the step, even a small one. Action makes growth real. Here's a secret. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Discipline lasts. And self-talk is discipline. 5 days of